Let's talk about gratitude. Gratitude is easily one of the most potent, powerful tools we all have access to for free. And it's such a simple and underutilized tool from what I've witnessed in the world. And if you want to transform your life, and if you want to transform yourself, and if you want to transform your relationship, I suggest you start practicing gratitude every day. No, I take that back. Start practicing gratitude at every moment. So many people struggle with this, and I've talked to many people that I have a hard time with this gratitude thing, and they just like, well, I just don't feel grateful, and and it's if they do gratitude journals or stuff like that, it just feels empty. Has they don't have the feeling of gratitude. They're like, okay, I'm grateful, you know, um, but they don't have the feeling. I don't feel grateful, and I would say it's a tool. It is a tool. I want to say it's a practice, and you can learn like any muscle. The more you strengthen it, the stronger it becomes. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And at first, like if you've never ran in your life, and if you've never, never done certain exercise. Everyone's done a form of exercise. You could say walking is an exercise, but say you've never done yoga, it's going to be awkward and weird and contorting your bodies in ways you've never done before. Let's say you've never really ran a long distance and everyone's ran to catch the bus or something. Um, but if you like never like, okay, I'm gonna run 5 miles, I'm gonna run something, like if a lot of people have never done that. I hadn't done that until recently. um, it's super awkward and weird and things hurt, and like and then it's a practice, and over time you start to enjoy it. So just like that, um, it's a practice. So I want to help you with that practice. I'll give you something very practical, very basic, very very simple tools. And the reason I'm closing my eyes, if you're watching and not only listening, is I want to, if you're driving while you're listening to this, don't, you can still do this, just don't close your eyes. But it helps if you're in a place where you can close your eyes. And take a breath and let go of any tension. Take another breath. It helps actually a lot if you put your hand on your heart. If you put your hand on your heart, it's, you know, energy flows where attention goes, right? If your attention goes to your heart, energy starts to flow there. And when we talk about love, from the the Eastern philosophy, they talk about something called chakras. But they're not philosophy, they're not ideas. Chakras are actual, real centers, nodes of in your nervous system that collide and connect in certain places of your body. And a lot of things are colliding, a lot of energy is colliding in these certain centers of your body. And when you connect to those, and when that the energy is flowing through there, and everything is working smoothly, you're connected to those chakras. You're um, so it's a real thing. It's not some ethereal spiritual concept of chakras. So when you put your kind of heart in your hand in your heart, you're actually connecting to that, your fourth chakra, and you're connecting to your actual physical heart, and it helps to bring the energy there, which is a place where you can feel gratitude from. So the first thing to start, as a beginner, if you are a beginner, is to be grateful for what you have, because you have a lot and you're missing it. You're missing what you have. And we only realize what we have usually often when we lose it or we don't have access to it. So that's why, for example, let's say willingly, consciously fasting, and actually most people don't ever allow themselves to experience hunger. When people say I'm hungry or hangry, a lot of people that are hangry. If you're angry because of you're hungry, I don't want to go into biology and chemistry and all that is, but because you're consuming too many sugars and carbs, and brings this chemical reaction in your body. But get to know what is really the feeling of hunger. So then when you can have food, you can actually be grateful for it. So if you haven't eaten for a day, for example, and you put that food in your mouth, it's like, it's just like a sense of joy and gratitude organically arising in your body. It's like, piece of fruit. One reason we have hard time with gratitude is because we've dulled our senses. If you eat highly processed sugared and salts, a piece of fruit tastes very bland to you. A piece of fruit is like, what is this? This is boring. This doesn't have the intensity of flavor. So you don't appreciate, you're not grateful for a piece of fruit. But because if you've eaten too much sugar, like say refined sugars and refined salts and all this, and oils, you've dulled your senses. You've literally dulled your senses to life, but you've dulled your senses to food. The beautiful thing is if you start cutting those back, and if you stop, you're gonna and if you fast for a day and you eat a piece of strawberry or a piece of banana or a piece of something, it's a divine experience. Like food, it becomes a divine experience because it gives you life. Without it, you won't be here. So that which gives you life, isn't that divine? So start to connect to the most basic things. A piece of food that you put in your mouth. You do know, that theoretically you understand that today people went to bed hungry, not by choice, they didn't choose to fast. But people went to bed hungry because they had no other choice. And when was the last time you went to bed hungry? If you're watching this video, it's probably been a long time, or never maybe in your life, that you went to bed hungry because you had no other choice. So how much gratitude can you feel for that alone? That is just, we take that for granted. We take that like, I had a meal today. We're not even present when we're eating food. A spiritual practice, which I'm not very good at, but when I do, it's a divine experience. Don't do anything else while you're eating. Stay quiet. Don't have a conversation if you're with someone. Don't be on your phone if you're alone. Don't watch a movie. Again, I do all those things. I'm not saying that that's how I eat every meal. But if you have a meal quiet where you're just present with your food, you get to really connect to life, literal life force. You're taking something, it's giving its life to become your life. The amount of life that it's surrendering its life for you to be alive. Like a piece of banana, if you eat it, what kind of processes, and what if you go all the way back from someone putting a seed in the ground, making a seedling, then planting it, then all this, then that growing, and someone picking it, and someone carrying it, and someone delivering it to your store, and someone displaying it on your store and at the store where you bought it, and then this, how much life had to happen for this bite to find itself and to nourish this body and to give you life. So start in it when you start, and this is all it takes. If you actually take the time to think about this once in a while, and you can pause, and this is the practice of pausing. It's hard to feel gratitude if you don't pause. That's why I had you put your heart on your hand. That's why I had you take some breaths. If you don't pause, it's hard to feel gratitude. But right before you put that bite of food, of a piece of banana in your mouth, just stop for a second. It's like, wow, what it took for this to come here, to get to my mouth, the process that it took for this to get to my mouth. And then chew that one bite. You don't have your whole meal like that, but just this one bite, chew it all the way and think about that. That is gratitude. If you really feel it, tears can come down your face. No, of sadness, usually we associate tears with sadness and grief, but tears are just tears comes when there's intensity. You can feel tears of joy, you can feel tears of gratitude, you can feel tears of pain, you can feel tears of suffering, you can feel like when there's a high intensity, when you feel life intensely, is when tears come. So tears can just pour down your face, and you're like, I don't know why I'm leaking. And then you could look around your house. The toilet paper that how would your experience of life will be if there was no toilet paper? The fact that you have access to toilet paper, the fact that you could just use this, that someone, again, I don't want to go into ecological stuff, because we cut down trees to make toilet paper, but the fact that a lot of effort went and a lot of humans were involved in this process for this piece of paper, this piece of tree. You could be grateful for the tree that died. There was a living tree at some point that has given its life for you to wipe the shit out of your ass. For you and I, not just you, for everyone. Like, wow, this used to be this piece of paper used to be a living thing. Wow. If you just take quick seconds throughout the day to think about these things, gratitude will naturally arise. So again, it becomes a muscle. And then the bigger things of life. But it's very powerful. Gratitude is the most powerful for the little things of life, because they're happening constantly, all the time. Constantly. And I will present you, start deeply paying attention to every time you're complaining. Whether you're complaining about something or someone, or were you complaining about yourself to yourself. Often like, oh damn it, what time it is? I'm late. I can't believe I'm late. So you're complaining about yourself that you're late. It's good to be on time, and if you're late, it's good to acknowledge that. But you can do that without complaining. Like, why are you late? If they were late, you were doing something. If you're doing something, can you have gratitude for that? Even if you were scrolling on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, you're like, wow, I'm so grateful that I have this little device that gets me connected to the whole world. I just watched a video that someone put their time and energy to create, who knows where, from across the world, that was so well done, that captured my attention. And I had, you're living like, we all live like kings and queens. A king and a queen to get entertained from someone across the world, that was a big ordeal. Someone had to travel across the planet to get to them with a lot of commotion for them to see 5 minutes of entertainment. And you have constant access to that 24/7, one after the other, one after the other. You live better than a king and a queen. Like, wow. All that entertainment at your fingertips. And not only entertainment, is it so much education? Understand, like, you want to work out, you can find a video to work out. Like, wow, just 10 years ago, if you wanted to work out and you didn't know how to work out, like if you didn't know how to work out, you had to hire a trainer, or you had to go to the gym and figure it out on your own, or read a book or something. And now forget an app. There's million apps, but you could just go on YouTube for free and find out a workout video for beginners, and you don't have any equipment. Oh, you can look up a body weight workout. That is at your fingertips for free at all times. So that's why we've become dull, or just like the highly processed sugars and salt and oils have numbed our senses. We become sensitized because we've had so much access. So the same thing with the internet. We have so much access that we've sensitized ourselves. And there's chemistry that a lot of people can talk about this way better than I can, but stuff like dopamine and stuff, and how that works and how that gets released in the body, how that creates, with I think there's a book called Dopamine Nation. I'm looking to maybe read next. I think that's what it's called. That talks about the problem that we've sensitized ourselves. So I'm spending a lot of time to really give you the tool of gratitude and how to practice it if you're actually willing to practice this. And so far, the only thing I'm asking you to practice is to be grateful for the things you have. But how much more stuff you have? You have a car, most likely. You have a chariot with 4 wheels that could go 100 miles an hour if you wanted it to. That's at your fingertips. How much life force went for that, for you to have a car just to yourself? You have a car just to yourself, most likely, not everyone, but a lot of people do. That you get in, it has 4 or 5 seats in it, but more often than not, it's just you in there, like a king. No king 100 years ago, or a queen, could go 100 miles an hour by themselves in their chariot. What an ordeal was for a king or queen to go from this place to that place. So you live lives better than kings and queens, and you don't know how to be grateful. Like, if you just really think about it, it's like, ooh, so much to be grateful for. And I just want to touch on 2 more things. One is start practicing gratitude towards the person next to you or the people next to you. But if you're in an intimate relationship, my God, one of the most beautiful things in life is to have another person next to you to go through life with. Life is treacherous and hard enough. Oh, like when COVID happened, I was in such deep gratitude that I had my spouse and my wife. It's like people are going through this by themselves. So many people didn't have someone to go through like something like that. Like, wow, you have someone next to you, another living being that you could walk through life with every day. That you chose that human being. You chose to be next to them. You chose to live life with them. If you remind yourself and you start looking at this human being, I am sure they're an amazing human being. That's why you are in a relationship with them. If they weren't amazing, you wouldn't be with them. They have such magic qualities to them. They're so powerful. They're so beautiful. They're there. They love you. And you're missing it. That hurts. I've missed so much of the beauty that was there. Constantly every day I miss this. This breaks my heart. I miss the beauty that's right in front of me constantly. Because I'm in lack of something. I'm lacking something. I want more of something else. This wasn't good enough. It had to be somehow different. Mm, mm. But I have so much, so much to be grateful for in every moment. And how much of my life I've spent in complaining, whining, missing the beauty of this moment. So start practicing gratitude with your partner, and like, even if you don't acknowledge it to them, if you live it and you feel it in your heart, even if you don't express it to them, but if you're living it, what naturally comes, you want to express that gratitude. It's like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for you. But even if you don't express it, but you feel it and you're actually practicing it, it will absolutely transform your relationship. Absolutely will transform your relationship. 100% guaranteed. So the practice is very simple. Start replacing complaining with gratitude. Every time you complain, be like, oh, what am I missing in this moment? What is all the beauty and magic that's happening in this moment? And you can find it in any moment. I've had my share of suffering, just like everybody else. But recently I read this book by Edgar. I think it was called The Choice. Um, is about this Auschwitz survivor that she shared about how she was able to find love and gratitude in Auschwitz. And not only that, but uh, she would share that the biggest prison that we all live inside of, that it's way, way worse than Auschwitz, is inside of our heads. And the only difference of that suffering is replacing it. It's this simple. It replaces complaining with gratitude, and you will stop suffering. So, don't trust me, don't believe me, go read her book. Listen to her. She's got videos on YouTube for free. You could, it's so powerful. So, and then if you truly want to take it to the next level and play with true magic, you magical being, you, is start being grateful for that which has not happened yet. But that's like a muscle, right? This is more like the advanced course. You got to sign up for the advanced course. This is the $10,000 program. And when you learn how to be grateful for your toilet paper and to what it took for you to for every little thing, that what it took to get here, and you start learning how to be grateful, how to practice gratitude, you can take it to the next level where you can be grateful for things before they have happened. And then you're starting to really tap into the magic of life, stopping to tap into you being the creator of your life. You're in the driver's seat at this point. You're the creator of your reality. You're the creator of your life. You are tapping into the quantum field. Whatever language works for you, you are talking to God. You have direct access. You've been given direct access line to God. You whatever you're in an intimate conversation at any time. You have access to hey bud, how you doing? He'll be right there next to you. And what that is learn to be grateful for the things you want in life but have not happened yet. Say you want to be a millionaire. Can you feel genuinely the same way? If you could just a banana, if you can gotten to a point where you can bite out of a banana and that can bring tears down your face because of how grateful you are to have the privilege to put that in your mouth. Like, whew. And you know that bodily sensation and experience deep in your cells of gratitude. You can bite out of the banana of being a millionaire. Like, oh, I'm so grateful to be a millionaire. Wow. All the lives I get to touch now, all the people I get to serve right now, all the fun things I get to do, all the ways I can help my family. Oof. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. Or I want an intimate partner or I want my relationship to be better because it's suffering. That one's, they're all really hard because everything in your life is like, you're poor, bills, you're alone, but your partner's fighting with you. It's like a big red light flashing in your face. If you can dim that light and rise the light of gratitude, oh, starts to happen. So you're just gonna walk down, you're gonna trip, you're gonna fall down, and the person's gonna pick you up. Is gonna be like, oh wow, and then they're like a millionaire that's willing to help you, take you as an apprentice, teach you how they became a millionaire. Just kind of where pure magic starts to happen all around you. Or the same exact scenario, you trip down, you fall down, and the person that comes to pick you up becomes the love of your life. Actually, I heard a story like that. They were, this is a friend of a friend, so a friend shared that story with me, where these people made it a concert, but some guy really fell, and he was falling. He pushed this guy, and the guy falls on top of this woman, and they all fall down, and he literally fell on top of this woman, or she fell on him. I don't remember. And these people are now happily married, been together for like 10 years or something like that. Literally, someone told me this story last week of somebody they know personally. And those magical moments can start to happen to you on a daily if you learn how to be grateful for that which has not happened yet. And you let life, you let God, you let the quantum field, let the unlimited possibility of the quantum field decide how that happens for you. It's not your job. It's not like don't even go looking for her, for him, or for the $1 million. Your job is to keep showing up fully in this moment with gratitude and keep being here now with gratitude and doing your best in everything you do. The rest will take care of itself. So there you have it. If you're willing, You can transform your life with this one simple practice. I promise you, it would all start lining up just magically. It might have to take some time. Look at it. Uh, People don't have the patience and the perseverance. They hear this, they get inspired, they do it for a day or two, and they go back to their ways. I know, I know exactly how that goes. But if you don't even know how to be grateful for the piece of banana that is in your mouth, and I'm not saying that you have to sit there and do that all the time, but if once a day you can, one bite of your food, be like, wow, so grateful. And if you cannot feel that in every cell of your body, let's say in this case, you're maybe 50 pounds, 100 pounds overweight. So in order for you to lose this weight, and it will take some commitment, right? Might be 6 months, might be a year. It's similar, like you're gonna have to practice this for some time. Fortunately, these things take hold faster than physical changes. If you're 100 pounds overweight, it literally might take 6 months or a year. But if you practice this every day, just for 2 months, becomes a natural process, and it becomes easy, and then you can do it all the time. So with that, I'm so grateful. If you're watching this, that you watched it, that you stay and listen all the way to the end. 30 minutes. This wasn't a short video. This is over 30 minutes. You committed your life, your time, the most precious asset you have in the world, your time. You committed it to watch and 30 minutes into this, to listen to my voice. Like, oh, so grateful that you've devoted your precious time, your life source, and the only asset that you have, that you cannot buy, money cannot buy. We rich, poor, millionaires, billionaires, presidents, kings, queens, athletes, musicians, we all have same exact time. They all have 24 hours, 7 days a week. And none of us can buy more or more of it. So how you use it? Oh, you chose to use it to be here. So I'm just so grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing gratitude. We can change the whole planet by practicing together in gratitude. Thank you. And I'll be even more grateful if you hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more, because I'm also putting my precious time into this. I'm grateful to even have the opportunity and the equipment and the mic and the camera and the computer and live in a world where I can share my voice and a stranger across the world can hear that. Thank you. Until next time, subscribe and give it a thumbs up.